Hello and welcome to Behind the Haunt. I am your host, Coda the Backstage Goblin, and if you haven't listened to this podcast before, let me introduce it to you. This is a podcast about the haunted house at Nordic Fascon and what happens behind the scenes and the people volunteering there. We often have new guests every day, and today I have the pleasure to introduce you all to Alpha Mace.
Hello.
We also have Alsatian.
Hey there.
And we have Queenie, also known as Fi.
Heyo.
And today is a special episode because we're actually diving into one of the topics, which today's topic is PR. Because this is part of the PR that we do, like for example. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode. So, for this episode, we are also trying something new. We are doing a more open discussion after asking 3 questions that are more focused on turn-based, like most episodes has been beforehand. So we will begin with the first question, and for this one I would like to start with Queenie. And that is, what work do you do for the haunted house in and outside of it, and what PR work do you do?
Wow. So in the haunt, I can start with that. I do at least one of the roles most of the times. I sometimes help behind the stage. I make sure that the backstage goblin has enough food, and I take care of him. And make sure that he actually, doesn't become a permanent part of the haunt.
Thank you again.
More permanent than you already are. Outside of the haunt, I help procure some of the costumes. We do a bunch of logistics. I also, with this one, I am going to hold a specific part of it. I don't want to tell too much before we're gonna reveal it, but I am going to be holding a part of the haunt this year, and I am really looking forward to it. PR part, I would say this, among other things. I sometimes look over to see if everything's spelled correctly and stuff like that, because when you write things, you sometimes just end up staring at the same word and not knowing if it's spelled correctly or not. And that's when I get asked.
Don't forget, you do a lot of voice recordings for me.
Oh yes, I also do all of the weird noises and photos that you ask for. Usually at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, there are so many. If you weren't so willing to do them, I would consider using them as blackmail if I ever needed
it. Yeah, you cannot hang my weird laugh over my head. I already know I sound like a donkey and a pig mixed together. That's okay.
To move on, let's ask the same question to... Let's actually do the opposite of the introduction, so Alsatian.
It's a bit of a tricky question because I would argue that I brought the whole PR topic into the team, but I mostly do social media. I'm also a voice actor for the videos, and this year I have joined the Backstage Goblins.
And once you join, you'll never leave.
Oh no.
You're one of the
I'm
team.
also, I think you could also call me the Trello Jira guy. I keep track of stuff. And yeah, I think I'm like at every single meeting.
So, next person, Alpha Mace. What work do you do for the haunted house in and aside of it, including PR work? I should have asked it that way to begin with.
It's fine. I started last year, so I'm pretty new to the haunted house thingy, but I will continue to do acting as I did last year. I also probably gonna run around doing backstage gobbling. I also gonna do some like games and stuff for the haunted house. And for the PR work, I'm gonna do some videos. I'm helping Coda with like IDs, plans,
That's me.
more crazy IDs and stuff like that. And doing some videos, sounds, like a little bit of everything all over the place. Because why do one thing when you can do 25 and then 50 more?
That is one of the best things I've heard. But Mace, I just have to say, bitch, you're not helping me with ideas. You're literally pumping them out quicker than I can think, and I'm very grateful for that.
You're welcome. My brain has loads of ideas.
Oh god. And you're...
It's true to create it for its own good.
And it is also true. I did make a lot of the videos for the haunted house before this point, but now Alpha Mace has joined me, and that is making me extremely happy because it means that we can make much better quality stuff and a lot more fun things. It's funny when you're a team.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Queenie has also been involved in videos, and so has Alsatian, but Alsatian voice-wise. And
Yep.
and for the next question, how did you come into the haunted house and how long have you been a part of it? And let's do it the other way around this time. So Mace, you may begin.
Yeah. Like I joined last year, so I won't be part of it for like a year.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little bit more than a year because I joined before NFC started because I got roped into it. I don't remember how, but I ended up in the haunted house and joined as an actor and spawned IDs and stuff.
It is kind of fun
And-
because you began with joining as an actor and now you're literally the head of filming videos.
Yeah, like stuff happens, I guess.
Moved very quickly.
Yep, jailing that tower.
Fantastic. And how about Alsatian?
Mine is actually an interesting one because I didn't step in for my love of horror movies or series. I actually shared Royan's view that I'm actually not a fan of horror movies, but I came into it thanks to Zuki for both our love for tabletop RPG games. He had to spend more and more time into the haunted house and therefore had to stop doing the tabletop RPG meet and greet at the convention and organizing the games. So I offered to help him with that. I already did some PR back then, and that turned out to be really helpful for getting more enthusiasm for tabletop RPGs. And I believe a couple of years back in 2024, yes, more than a year ago, I helped building and breaking down the haunted house, and I was asked if I would like to join and help with and things regarding PR. So that's how I walked into it. So I think I'm now around for close to 1.5 years.
Oh yeah, because I remember you joining last year. And then how quickly afterwards you became part of, like you made the PR team and then became a part of it, and now here we are.
Yeah, I believe I did leave an impression, and then we went completely wild with the podcast idea for a series called Minutes of Silence, which at first was like small snippets of, radio recordings to attract the audience, and then it became so popular within the team, it became its own thing. We went wild.
It has been a lot of fun. Speaking of, just a quick heads up, season 2 is on its way. And for Queenie, how did you become part of the haunted house, and how long have you been a part of it?
So I actually started with helping breaking down the 2017 haunted house. It was the first time I'd been at NFC. Didn't know there was a haunted house or anything until I found out at the very end. And I was like, oh my god, there's a haunted house. And then it was like, I want to help. And then I ended up stumbling and actually spraining my ankle and being less than optimal help. But then I wanted to come in and do more help, but it wasn't until 2019 that I feel I was a huge part. Before that, it was just like, hi, I'm awkward and I want to help, but I don't know how. But I pulled in Gaurian and I pulled in Koda.
Hello.
And I actually remember asking Alpha, like, hey, can you just help for like this one time? And now we can't get rid of you.
Yeah, I sold my soul and he's stuck in the haunted house, I guess.
For PR purposes, that was a joke.
That is kind of ironic, though. I went in and they just refused to take my soul, but I'm still stuck there.
Yeah.
Well, they're stuck
No,
with me
honey,
more than...
you don't have a soul. That's why we can't take it.
Oh, that's fair. Plus, they're stuck with me. I'm not stuck with them.
Exactly. But
For PR purposes,
you are
that is true.
beloved head of goblin. So.
Oh, head of goblin.
And I'm leaving that joke unsaid. But yeah, that's how. So I've been a part of it since I basically got to hear about it. And next year is going to be 9 years. Shit.
Holy crap.
I feel so young right now.
Oh no. Have you learned or enhanced any skills that you use outside of the haunted house? And let's mix it up a bit and begin with Alsatian this time.
When we were working on Minutes of Silence, I was dabbling a lot with Canva, which is a bit of an artwork editing tool which gives you assets. I'm not an artist per se, but I do have some creative ideas here and there, and Canva has just helped me to express those things. Actually created part of the thumbnail for Minutes of Silence, and I've actually been using it more and more with my work as a nutritionist to communicate things to clients. So yes, I would say it has helped me to express things more visually.
Don't forget Phalos, who basically created the image for Minutes of Silence.
They did an amazing job with the characters. I was actually one of the radio host characters, Peanuts, and you, Koda, were voice acting Jelly, right?
Yes, I were, and I edited everything.
Yeah, our editing king, queen, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know, editing goblin.
Deity?
Editing goblin, yeah, that's perfect.
Demi-goblin.
Editing goblin.
Yeah.
Yes,
Editing demi-goblin.
that feels right. I don't know why. For anyone who doesn't know, I do a lot of the PR work when it comes to editing, making, and creating. For some god-awful reason, my brain won't stop talking, so I'm channeling it into trying to be creative, like 40% of the time. Either way, let's go with Mace next.
Well, I do use the acting bets because I do quite a bit of LARPing and tabletop. So it's like all the different parts of how to act, how to interact with people, how to think about how you use your body language, your tone, and how you present yourself to someone else or other people around you to get the reaction you want. I usually use quite a bit of that, and the whole trying to trick people, trying to depending on how you use your body, you can get them to react in a specific way. And that's something I've been trying out more on the haunted house, because that's another playing field compared to LARP I usually do that are usually the same old, especially in the main LARP I'm in, because I've been doing the same character for 6 years, and it's the same setting basically, so you can't really evolve that. While on the haunted house, I can like something new, I can like change it around a bit, I can try it, you can do different things with different groups, you can like shake out a bit, and that's really fun, and that I can then implement on other LARPs or tabletops.
Well, interesting. And how about you, Queenie?
The stuff that I would say that I've gotten better at would be to actually look people in the eye. I still feel like I am, quite honestly, really bad at looking people in the eye and not just forget to blink. But since the haunt is usually in a very dry place, I have realized that, hey, blinking is good. And that is something that I get to use outside of the haunted house, which sounds much more boring than either of your answers, frankly. So, as an explanation, I was one of those theater kids.
Oh no.
So, yeah. So I used to go to improv classes and stuff like that a lot, which is why I just needed like refreshers when I started about doing things like that, because, oh wait, I've done this, you know, that kind of thing. And I really don't like that I sound, oh, but I knew how to do this the entire time. But the thing is, my hyper focus is whatever I can go down a rabbit hole with. And one of the things that I had as a hyper focus when I was younger was theater. It was like seeing how people's facial expressions change minutely depending on like how are they supposed to be looking like this. What are they supposed to be looking like in this situation, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So I know that I can show what I'm thinking on my face very well if I'm tired enough, but I feel like I'm a little bit of a better poker face. Does that make sense?
That does make a lot of sense, I'd say, yeah.
Woo!
Hooray!
Short answer, I've learned to blink much more when I look someone in the eyes, and I have gotten a better poker face.
Oh, wonderful.
So I should not play poker with you because I'm gonna lose.
Oh no, you shouldn't play poker with me because I'm lucky as fuck.
I'm
already banned in
Yes.
at least one casino.
I don't like admitting this, but I hope this is okay, Queenie, that I admit what me, you, and Zach did in when we were visiting.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, me and Zach decided to play strip poker against Queenie, and I think that Queenie ended up removing one set of, like, maybe their shirts, and me and Zach ended up...
Your sock.
And me and Zach ended up naked.
Completely.
Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, like I usually say, there's more than one reason my main zona is a white rabbit.
Sorry for that little interruption in the audio. I had to get a package either way. So, for the next question, does any of you have any fun stories from your time at the haunted house or any good memories you want to share? And I actually want to bring this from the newest person to the one who's been here the longest, so let's start with Mace.
You mean I need to remember shit?
Yes, you need to remember shit. I'm so sorry.
Unfortunately.
I think the funniest thing was when I switched up the character, because I think we had one that someone was sick. So I played another character that I hadn't trained for, and I forgot the line in the middle of it, so I just improv and just whipped around and stared at someone while screaming in their face, "Are you fucking stupid?" And the person said just, Yes, I'm stupid, please don't kill me!
Oh,
It was really fun because, which was also fun because the group afterwards did the exact same stupid things. I just asked them the same question, where on two other people was like, yes, Mr. But please don't kill us. And then they start begging for mercy. It's like, I'm not the bad guy, you should release the bad guy. And then we ended up getting killed anyway because they had a demon in the party.
Fucking hell. How about you, Alsatian?
I think one of the funniest stories I had when I did like the last episode of the first season of Minutes of Silence. It was so much fun, burning the character that I was playing to the ground, making them completely terrified, and they were this, very optimistic, nothing can go wrong person, and then they were completely obliterated with how that episode evolved. I had a lot of fun playing that character, and just ending with like, oh shit, ah!
Did seem to have a lot of fun. It's always wonderful to know, because you are one of my stories in like the first Behind the Haunt.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I wanted to come with a different story.
It's very fair. And how about you, Queenie? Any fun stories or things you want to share?
One of them is a little, unfortunate, because it actually includes you, our dear behind-the-scenes goblin. And that was exactly the one you think I'm going to mention. Because one year we had these big fences, and they're the kind that you have at a concert, and they make an awful rattling noise when you move them. And in the haunt that year, it was the behind the scene, very fitting. And Coda was actually slamming their hands and shaking the fence.
Whenever they walked past the narrow passage that I was behind.
Yeah. And one of the times you just hear run, slam, and then you hear fuck and a scream. Fuck. Most of us in the haunt could hear this, and we had to work so hard to not burst out laughing. Zuki actually didn't realize what was happening at all, but after that group had walked through, we ran to Coda to make sure, like, hey, we heard you scream, what happened? And it had actually turned out to be that you actually hit a screw on one of the fences, which actually gave you a scar that you have still to this day. So the haunt has marked you, just like it has marked all of us in one way, shape, or form.
The worst part about it all is that it was the first time I was ever in the haunted house. I believe my third shift, and not only did I continue the shift, and soon, after 3 more runs, I started hitting the fence again, but with my other hand. I also kept working every shift after that.
It is also the same year that the haunt marked me, by me being a stupid moron and actually holding on to a piece of bread, and I was cleaving this with a normal food knife, not thinking about the fact that, hey, it can be sharp, because I wanted to make sure that you actually got food in your belly. Mm-hmm. So we got 2 blood sacrifices that year.
I have a tendency not to eat while working,
yes.
Which is yes.
So
yes.
Wait. Do I understand correctly that you were on the fence about it, but still got screwed over?
Jesus Christ, Alsatian!
Yeah, I'm sorry, audience, but I am also called the Pun King in some circles, and I know why.
Oh, god damn it, Alsatian.
Oh was so bad. It was a dad joke of the highest caliber.
I didn't know your partner could get pregnant, but apparently you have impregnated them.
Yes, because that was a dad joke.
Yes.
Oh God, my tears are just running down my face.
I do want to take the chance to actually add a fun story myself, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is from this year's haunt, and I will never forget the group where someone, as I snuck up behind them in the dark, just looked at me, looked away, then looked at me again, and just went, "Oh, I have an idea." And he asked me to drag him out of the room into the first one, and I thought, well, this is just a normal visitor. Their friends might be terrified if I do this. So I just went, yeah, why not? Grabbed them and started dragging them out as they were screaming. Apparently it was only because they wanted candy from the first room.
I remember that one. You told me about it.
I respected...
The yellow candy guy.
Exactly. I respected that guy too much to stop them. So I just let them take candy, and then they asked if they could go back. Another volunteer at the haunted house, Tisil, who's actually been in this podcast before, said, "No, you can't. You're dead." And the guy just went, "Oh, that's fine. I can just become a ghost then." And then literally went in like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta respect the hustle.
We really do, especially as they lost. I believe that was the group where someone just wanted to see the world burn and basically hid the charm that would save the world. Yeah, so all of them died. Thing is, they played along when being killed. So they dropped to the floor like the actors. And I ended up standing there on the floor just thinking, like, I had bonked someone on the head and they also fell and died. And I stood there on the floor. Apparently it was only me and the split-mouth lady. And I couldn't see them. So I just thought I was standing there alone. And I thought, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'll just kill myself. So I took my cane, did seppuku, and then fell to the floor.
It was lovely.
Yes. But
the split-faced lady, that was so hard on the knees,
oh
honestly.
God, I can imagine. But yeah, the reason why I remember that group so well is because afterwards, that person, as they went out, just said, "Thank you for killing me twice." It's words that I will never forget.
Sounds like some unresolved issues there.
I also remember that funny part. I think it was the group before that when they had a fursuit in like a cat costume.
Yeah.
And you were the backstage goblin running around, and you wanted the pretty kitty as a pet. And I told you that no, you're not allowed to have another cat. You knew what you did with the last one. You played it and ate it, so you're not allowed to keep the other cats.
Oh yeah.
And the person just felt, "Huh, I'm dead, I promise," and they fell to the floor.
And I just looked down sad. God.
Aww.
It's some good memories. And this is coming from someone who's been working in the haunt, like, how long have I been there now? 6 years. Someone who's been there for less than 1 year, someone that's been there for 9 years, and someone that's been there for 2 years. It's not often that you come out of the haunted house without good memories. It is such a common thing at this point, what I've noticed.
Good memories and broken knees.
Oh God, yeah. And broken hands.
Good memories and some type of injury or mark.
Yes, and if you don't gain one... Alsatian, please, you first.
Either physical or mentally.
And if you
Or
don't,
both.
and if you don't gain one, we will give you one. This is haunted house guaranteed.
Exactly.
And this
House
is.
approved.
Hey, sorry, I just gotta go and grab the milk real quick. Oh, hello. Carl of the Backstage Goblin here. I didn't expect to see any of you here, but while you are, I might as well say, if you want to join the Haunted House crew, then you can just join the Telegram channel through the description. From there, you can join the group and just say you want to join the crew, and we'll pick you up from there. If you just want to follow our content and be up to date with what we do, then you can join the Telegram channel again through the link in the description, and the group if you want to. I also want to take a moment to just say thank you all, because we couldn't do any of this without any of you, like watching, liking, sharing, commenting on our content, and we couldn't do any of this if no one of you went to the haunted house at NFC. So I do want to thank you all, because it does mean the world to us, especially to me. Because I love what I do, and I wouldn't be able to do it without any of you actually being here. So, thank you all. But, I've been rambling on for a bit too long. And the fridge is getting a little bit warm. I think it's going to start beeping soon. So, yeah, I can't find the milk either, so I guess I'll just grab this as a substitute. I'll see you guys back at the podcast. Bye. Oh god, too hot, too hot. So it's time for some open discussion questions, and let's start with what theme has been your favorite this far from the haunts? And again, this is open discussion, so any of you can jump in at any time.
I think that's a tricky one because every theme brings something new to the table.
Yeah.
I sadly haven't attended the Viking one. I was actually trying to join with a friend, but I think they were like fully booked. But I thought that was a very one, especially from what I've heard.
Yeah. Oh, it was
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah,
Same
the
here,
Viking one, it got full up rather fast.
Yes, I missed that one as well, which was really sad.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to go to that one.
Something that you all missed as well, except Queenie, who was backstage when this happened, was when I lost my phone, which I did a lot of the sound effects with. I had to run around to try and find it.
Oh, yeah.
At some part, I just said, "Fuck it! There are attendees here, but it cannot wait." I crouched down, bolted past them, tore open a door, and just slammed it behind me. Gorian saw what happened, and he knew that I was the one who played the sound to actually call the huntsman, and he had to improvise on the spot and just said something like, "I hear the huntsman coming!"
Oh yeah.
He is so proud of that one, and I understand him. It was
That's
a
really
good one.
funny, actually. That is actually something really difficult in the haunt. When, not if, but when something goes wrong or gets messed up a little bit, and we're still trying to put on a show for people, you have to think on the spot quite a lot. And I love the weird solutions we manage to come up with sometimes.
Yeah, like how people just work together on the spot without actually talking. Just like someone starts improvising and the other one just catch on and like, oh, okay, we're doing this now. Okay, I'm gonna do this so we get back to like what we need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like when we on the spot last year, me just slamming the door when people was walking past it, and it scared so many people. It was so fun.
I heard so many
Some
people
even ran
scream.
back into the corridor. It's like, ah! Oh no, we need to pass the door again. And then I opened it and slammed it again, and they got scared as well.
You are one of the few people who actually wanted to do it, and I love that you did.
I might be a bit biased, but acting at the haunted house for the very first time as a backstage goblin was pretty special. It was actually like the last shift of that whole week, and I remember, being a bit, shy, saying my lines and doing the stuff, but as I kept repeating them over and over and over for another group, I do remember one or two times one of the players just scaring the shit out of them as I just stepped in and just roared and said like, "Feast on their flesh!" And they would scare the shit out of it. And it was also really fun to then act and interact with the other actors as the scene continued. So that will always have like a special place in my heart. But I'm also very much looking forward to next year, because for this year I've been involved a lot more with the things we are preparing. Don't want to spoil too much, but I think it's gonna be the last.
Let the games begin. Oh, and I do want to add this in because I just thought it was straight up funny. One of the actors did scare the shit out of me because he was in character, turned around, saw me, screamed, and I was not ready for it, so I jumped.
To be fair, Coda,
Yeah.
not very difficult to scare you.
That is true. That's why I hate horror, but I love working in the haunted house.
They
But yeah, to touch on a subject that you mentioned, Alsatian, I do love seeing someone come into the haunt and, like, in the beginning, they're all shy and they don't really know what to do. And it's like, oh, what if I do something wrong? And to then see, like, blossom into this just full-fledged actor of, oh yeah, I can do this, I got this, I can scare people, I love it. And it's one of my favorite parts, honestly.
It is what makes it worth it to continue.
Yeah.
It is.
Just seeing people realize that scaring the ever-living crap out of unsuspecting fools is what I live for.
Hello everyone, Code of the Backstage Goblin here. I'm just here to inform you all that this is the two-parter, and this is the first part. The next part will be released in around 2 weeks. I really hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I want to thank you all for listening. I really hope I'll see you all in the next one as well. And I want to leave you all with a word of caution. Pay no attention to the gremlin in your closet.